Hello friends, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. Thanks for joining me on my Mystery Monday video this morning. It's a long weekend here in our part of the country. We call it Heritage Day, where we celebrate a lot of different cultures and their traditions and things. So there's a lot going on in the city today. So if it's a long weekend where you are, I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful long weekend. So today we're going to take a look at the Wildflower Designs bundle. In particular, the designer paper, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So this is the stamp set here. So you've got a couple of greetings, some nice images, and then these are the dies, which are awesome. You got some great large dies here that you can put your greeting in, or use it as a frame for some of the florals that are in the stamp set. So a really nice bundle and suite of products, and you can find it if you're looking for it in our large catalog, and it's on page 40 and 41. So here you've got some really nice samples, and it incorporates a lot of our in colors from last year. So the Moody Mauve and the Wild Wheat and, that sort of palette of color. And this is what you get in the suite. So your stamp set, your dies, there's an embossing folder, some really cute self-adhesive embellishments, and then this beautiful designer paper. So this is actually what drew me to this suite in the first place, was this designer paper. And I'm just going to show it to you quickly. So it's very, a lot of florals to it, but really neat color palette with those in colors. So you get 12 sheets, two of each, right, for 12. So here you've got a beautiful Misty Moonlight with some of that Wild Wheat in there. This one is beautiful with the larger flowers and the Misty Moonlight. Here you've got some more of that Wild Wheat, and it's the same floral pattern. They've just switched out the color palette. So you've got these two, and then there's this really nice one with the Moody Mauve, and then here you've got another one which is similar but yet a little bit different, and then this really large beautiful one here. And on the back, it's very sort of neutral. You've got some crumb cake in this palette as well. So this is sort of like a linen look. It's beautiful. You've got some other florals, some other sort of lighter florals on there in the Moody Mauve and the Misty Moonlight. Those are the same. Some more of that linen in the Misty Moonlight, and some more of the florals. So a really lovely color palette. Okay, so today we're going to do another fun fold card. I've seemed to be finding these fun fold cards that just look so much fun. So the one we're going to do is this one. So I've incorporated the designer paper in the stamp set, and it opens like this. And when you close it, your image is in the center, okay? So really quite simple to put together once you have your cardstock and pieces cut. And we're going to do a little bit of scoring too, so I'll do that with you. So this one, I've used this beautiful, I think it was this paper here, and then I just flipped it and used the back for the side pieces. But for this sample we're going to put together this morning, I thought we could try a different color palette. So for this one, we are going to use that really cool Moody Mauve with these white, they almost look like they're splashed on, don't they, these flowers? Like it's just, they've taken their brush and just kind of, I don't know, I think they're really neat. Okay, so for the base, I'm going to start with a piece of early espresso. Now I will post all of these measurements on the post. So the base is cut at 11 by 4 1/4, and we're going to do a teeny bit of scoring here. Okay, so on the 11-inch side, we're going to start, let me just see where my measurements are. Okay, 2 3/16. So each of these tiny little ticks is a 16th. So 1, 2, 3/16. Okay, so that's going to be our first score line. And the other two are pretty easy. 4 1/4. And you could use your scoreboard too if you would like, instead of your paper trimmer. And then our last one will be at 5 1/2. Okay, so that is all the scoring that we have to do. All right, so then we are going to take our bone folder and we're just going to burnish these score lines here. Oops, sorry, I mean to go out of the camera there. So this will be our inside here. So then we're going to score on that 2 3/16 line here. And it's almost going to be like a Z fold. Okay, so that, and then this one is also going to come back. And you can see right away you've got your base where your your center will be here. Okay, and it is sort of like a Z fold. I think I did that right. No. Yeah, it looks a little bit different, but you'll see when we get it all done. Okay, so one thing we're going to do first is stick these two pieces here on top of each other. So my adhesive, we're just going to put some adhesive here and stick that down. Okay, so it's actually base on base like that. All right, like so. Okay, so then let's start with our center, our inside basically. So I've cut a piece of basic white cardstock, which is where you can write your greeting, and the reverse piece of that designer paper, which will go on the outside. Okay, so let's put these down. And I only switched it to the reverse just for a bit of a contrast in pattern. And just make sure that your flowers are going in the direction you want. You know, with this paper, I'm not really sure there's a right or a wrong. Like, I think either way that you do it would probably be fine. So we're going to put this here towards the edge so we have a little bit of that espresso border showing. And then we will put our basic white right next to that. So you're just going to butt it up against it. Just line up the ends and press that down. So that will be the inside of your card. Okay, so on this piece, we're going to put another piece of designer paper, which is also that reverse pattern like here, but this is just cut at 4 by 1, and it's just to cover up that espresso there. Oops. So let's see, I don't know which way I want this to go. Let's just put it on like this. Okay. And there's that part. All right, so it's coming together. So now we have to put that front flap on. So again, I have a piece of early espresso and that bright, beautiful piece of that designer paper. So we are going to layer this on the espresso, whichever way you like. Which way do I want it? Maybe I'll do it this way. It's personal preference, and you could use any of the patterns in the designer paper to make this card. I just pulled out this particular one. Okay, so now we have to attach this onto the flap. So we're not going to put it like this, although if you wanted to, you could. If you wanted your flap to open like this, and then you'd have a bigger piece here. But for this to be centered, we have to put it on with the left side here attached, so that when it lies flat, it'll sit in the center, and you're going to have this other designer paper bordering each side. But again, if you wanted to do it like this, you could do it like this as well. Just make sure that it's lined up. Okay, so I'm just going to put adhesive on this piece here, this espresso. And because I want this in the center, I am going to line it up. Just going to line it up on the edges here. So just line up my corners and press down, and that will leave this side free of adhesive because I just put it on that espresso, and there it is, lined up in the center. All right, so it's coming together. Okay, so now we want to add a greeting. So I'm going to pull one out of the stamp set. Now, where did I put it? My stamp set. I had it right in front of me, didn't I? Oh my gosh, girl. Okay, here we go. All right, so sending happy thoughts. You've been on my mind, and thank you. So I'm going to do sending happy thoughts again. That was kind of a sort of uplifting sort of greeting. And let me find my block. And I think we are going to stamp this in the Moody Mauve. Now, I know some of our American friends pronounce it Moody Mauve, but for me, I've always pronounced it Mauve. I don't know if the rest of you that are watching in Canada say it the same way. If you do, leave me a comment. Let me know. I'm curious. Am I saying it wrong? Have I been saying it wrong all of these years? I sure hope not, but you never know. All right, so I cut 2 pieces here for our greeting, and for these I used our Nested Essentials dies. If you have never used these or seen these, this is what they look like. So you have a couple of different options. You've got these ones here, which is what I use. So I use the smallest and the second smallest, but you've also got these sort of rounded squares, and you've got these flag banner sort of sizes as well. So many different sizes to choose from that would fit many different types of greetings. So these are really handy die set to have on hand. So the smaller one I cut out of basic white. So I'm just going to ink up that stamp in Moody Mauve. Ooh, it's really juicy, so let's hope I don't mess this up. Excuse my head. Another way to do this would be to stamp first and die cut later, which is quite often, because I had so much ink on mine. See that? That did not go very well. I wonder I could do it this way. Let me flip this over. I'm just going to clean this off. Oh my, that's really juicy, that ink pad. Ooh. I guess I shouldn't have pressed maybe so hard. So let's see if I can get it the second time. Just gently maybe this time. Hopefully it's inked. I don't want to have those halos, which sometimes happens. If you find you're getting some ink on this outer edge, you can always trim that with some scissors just to get rid of that, because that can sometimes pick up extra ink and cause a halo if you sort of accidentally rock your stamp at all. Because that's so easy to do with these new. Okay, that's better. That's better. Yeah, especially when an ink pad is really juicy. Sometimes, you know, when we press it on that rubber, we can sometimes get a little bit of extra ink. Okay, so let's attach this. Proves you can always flip your paper over and try again, right? Okay, so let's put this on our early espresso, like so. And then I'm going to put this right in the center here, and I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals. So I'm running towards the end of my package. But like I said, use all of the pieces on your dimensionals, because even if they're not the same shape as these center pieces, they work just as good. You may as well get your money's worth out of them, right? Especially if you use them as much as I do. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's try to find a center point. And it's okay if it sticks up a bit, because I didn't put my dimensionals right to the end because I didn't want it to stick on these sides. So just sort of ballpark that. And then we are going to add a little bit of bling with our butterflies. So these are our brushed brass butterflies, and I'm just going to put one here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Baker's Twine. So this is the white from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and I've done it in a double bow. So I think this is about 12 inches folded in half or so. And then I'm just going to attach this with a glue dot because I thought, well, it's fine like that. It looks fine. But I thought, oh, maybe a little bit of twine would give it a little extra something. Okay, so we'll do that. And I'm just going to trim these tails a teeny bit here so they don't quite hang over the edge like so. And there you go. There is your card. Pretty simple, hey? So which do you prefer, the blue or the Moody Mauve? I don't know. I kind of like both of them. This one on the sample, I just used the black memento for the stamp. And Moody Mauve was my base color. This one I used Early Espresso because there is some espresso in this designer paper, as well as Moody Mauve in the designer paper. So you can pull out any of those colors to sort of help you when you're choosing your card base. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that fun fold, and we will see you again next time. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.